grind, to the hustle, the pursuit of wealth. Every story, every journey, every climb from the shelf. Here's to the drive, to the fight, to pursuit of wealth.
Welcome back to another episode of the Pursuit of Wealth podcast. We're here with Mr. Jace himself, Jace Wright, wearing his golf polo, top-notch hat, looking slick, dude.
Thank you.
This is actually the first time I've seen you not in Shelly basketball gear for about 2 weeks.
The summer's over. Like, we're done with summer ball. So I took a step back, and all of them were dirty. So I didn't have them. Or I probably would have worn them.
Real excuse. Jace is on this kick. So he's volunteering as a Shelly basketball coach. Yeah. And he is all in. All in.
It's how I operate, man. Like, I don't know a different way to do it.
I love it because this is going to tie into part of our topic today. Is this. So we'll kick things off. I heard a quote, or not really a quote, but I guess it is a quote. It says, many people die at 25 and aren't buried until 75.
Wow.
Most people die at 25. They're just not buried until 75.
Mm.
And well, first, what are your initial thoughts of that?
Well, my question is that based off of like, you just kind of give up on life. And so you just go and work and work and work and work and work. And that's all you know how to do. And then you stop working and then you're buried in, when you normally die.
Yeah.
It's fascinating truth is what I'll say. Like, because I believe that is very true with most people.
100%. And like 25, you're kind of like, at that point, you're like in a job or career, or like you feel, honestly, I think the biggest thing is you kind of get trapped. At 25, like you're married, you start to have kids, you're in a job, maybe you're getting into a house, you start to get trapped by these things. Mm-hmm. And then you end up just working to maintain. And then by the time you're 75, you're in the ground. The premise of this quote, though, was actually the fact that you stop learning. Most people stop learning at 25.
Interesting.
So they get out of school, high school, then go to college. And even if you go to college, if you're graduated by 25, that's typically when you just stop learning. You've learned what you went to school for, and then you go get a career, and you just do the career for till you're 75 and you retire. And you tend to just give up on learning. Now, the crazy thing is, like, the most successful people in the world just never stop learning, right? It's like they continue to learn. They continue to read books. They continue to seek information to learn how to do something. And I truly think that, like, with the access to education nowadays, I think for like our great grandparents, it was probably a lot harder. Like, they were stuck in a career because for them to learn how to trade stocks, like, where were they going to learn that? Maybe they could read books. Maybe there's books out, but like the access to education was a lot harder. Today, dude, you can learn anything online.
And to go on to that quote, it's kind of sad because with that, where you have the opportunity to learn anything you want, but most people die at 25, it's because you've given up.
100%.
Like, you're now trapped. You're satisfied with where you're at. And so the desire to learn, to do something different, to go and branch out is gone.
And here's where I think that desire dies. Maybe it's not that, like, you just don't want to, but if you're in a 9 to 5, you wake up, you go to work from 9 to 5, and you're depleted when you get home. You have like no desire to want to learn. But if you like put your tinfoil hat on, that's what they want. They want to drain you. Go to your 9 to 5, get your paycheck, and go home. Go spend time with the family, enjoy, and wake up in the morning and do it again.
Yeah.
And wake up in the morning and do it again. There's somebody said there's two major addictions in the world: heroin and a salary.
Oh,
I'm like, that's brutal.
It's brutal. It's true though.
People get it. It's two major addictions to heroin, and that's a wild comparison. But heroin and a salary, because you get addicted to it. Mm-hmm. You get addicted to the consistency, and I think that's where you really get into a trap. Is you don't feel like you have time because you're going to work. Then when you get home, and I understand it, when you get home, you feel guilty that you've worked all day, so you want to spend time with the family, and then you're tired. Like, dude, when I go home today, like if I had a 9 to 5, when I get home at 5 or 6 o'clock, dude, I do dinner, I help the kid. I help, we bathe the kids, help them get to bed. By the time all 3 kids are in bed, it's like 8:39. I want like an hour to myself. Then I go to bed because I'm going to try to get up early. So it's like, you don't have a lot of time. I can see how it's really easy to get trapped in that cycle. Like, I'm blessed that we're in the position that we're in now, that like that cycle, it's okay. Cause like we've already planted the seeds and we've grown the business and we're at this point. But if you hadn't yet, it would be really easy to just feel trapped. Cause like, when would you work on it? Mm-hmm. You would then have to sacrifice. You'd have to figure out from 9 to 11 or something, you would have to go learn, or you got to wake up early, go to bed at 10, 11, make sure you're up at 5 a.m. and make sure you're reading or learning or trying to progress in life. I think people just stop progressing, and that's the biggest issue.
That or they don't. I'm going to use me as an example because I think this is going to, I always like to self-reflect. Use myself as the scapegoat. People will not learn in anticipation for what they want to do either. So like, let's say I'm in my corporate job, but I want to be an investor, right? Let's say I want to invest in the stocks. I was not going and watching YouTube on how to invest in stocks, but I guarantee if I had money in stocks already, I'd be going to YouTube. So I'm going to use the coaching thing as an example too. I've wanted to be a coach forever.
Yeah.
Like forever. It's in my blood. My grandpa was a huge coach, took some state titles in Shelley. My uncle's a very successful coach, probably going to win state unless we beat him this year.
So that's a wild statement.
It's going to happen.
Okay. All right.
I hope he hears this. That'd be so funny. But like, I did not dive into learning about coaching until I got offered to come be on the staff. I wanted to coach. I would have loved, to have been a coach long ago, but I didn't do what was necessary until, oh crap, like the opportunity's here. Now I'm going to go learn. Does that make sense?
It does. No. And
I think a lot of people fall into that same trap
100%.
To where they may want or desire to get out of the rat race or do something else, but they're not waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning to learn. They're not staying up till midnight or whatever, using the extra time to try to do that. But if the opportunity presented itself naturally, they probably would. The catch is that's not going to happen very often.
Correct. And this is not a bash on you.
Yeah, please.
I think a lot of people do that.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if you had the other approach of, I'm going to prepare myself to create the opportunity.
Yeah.
Because if you had, let's just use your coaching again, for example. Mm-hmm. If you had decided to, I'm going to go learn how to coaching, tactics, strategies, how to be a leader, people are going to see that, and you're probably going to force an opportunity rather than waiting for an opportunity to be given to you. Luckily for you, it did come. But like, what if the opportunity had never been offered? Then you would have never got to explore that skill set. And it looks like it's something you love.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
So like, that's where I want to encourage people is, don't wait for the opportunity. Take it upon yourself to go, hey, if this is something I want to learn about or do, go learn and do it. And you'd be amazed at like the opportunities that you could force your way just by being ready for them. Mm-hmm. And I think that's something that I've kind of focused on in my life is like going and getting in the mastermind groups, going and getting a part of like,
you're very good at that.
Like without
learning in preparation for
I'm like,
something.
I don't have money to invest yet, or I don't run a team yet, but I'm going to go put myself in a room and feel uneducated and force myself to be in those uncomfortable spots. Because I think like if I learn, then when the opportunity comes, then I can actually capitalize on it.
And that is a key point, because this ties back into coaching as well. You're very good at going into a room and learning, not really knowing what direction you want to go yet, but just knowing that you want to be in that room with people that are ahead of you that want to do that. I did get in rooms with coaches.
Yeah.
Put myself in that position. I just wasn't studying it. And probably to your credit too, you weren't studying something specific, but the opportunity came to you because you were in that room in the first place.
Correct. Yeah.
So that's what you're very good at. That's kind of what happened with coaching. Grateful for the head coach. Like, the guy's an absolute dog.
Yeah.
But I became friends with him, talked a lot about basketball with him. So I put myself in that position just like you did.
I agree. And watching you, like, you went to things, you would attend all the basketball games. Like, you did things in preparation for this. Don't get me wrong. But I think the mentality that you talked about is exactly what holds people back is, oh, I'll learn about it. If somebody gives me an opportunity, then I'll go learn about it.
Yeah. Imagine
Like,
imagine wanting the opportunity to coach, but not going to a single basketball game, not knowing who the coach is or the program or anybody on the squad, but I'm just going to sit and wait for it to end. It's never coming. It's never happening.
But dude, some people live their entire lives like that.
Yeah. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. Like, ever.
Like, well, if you give me money, I'll learn how to invest. Well, that's not how it works. You need to learn to save money and stuff and learn to invest. And then you'll be ready when you have it. And you almost have to assume the identity that you want. And I think if you can assume, like, even for fitness, if you just assume the identity of like a person that goes to the gym or a person that runs, you make decisions based on that. And then you start learning about those things. And then all of a sudden you put your head up and you're like, oh, I'm a runner, or I'm a gym person. I go to the gym. But for people to say, well, like, if somebody signs me up for a marathon, then I'll train. It's like, well, okay, well then you're just never going to run a marathon.
Right.
Like, you have to create the life that you want. And I think people forget that. They wait for opportunities to come to them when it's like, it is your job to go out and to create those opportunities. And you do that by learning. You do that by like continuing to educate yourself and learn new things. I think we're in a really weird era right now too, with like everything that's going on with AI. There's numerous unimaginable opportunities that are coming our way for those that are willing to go out and learn and be ready to implement. And there's going to be a lot of people like really upset when things start turning and jobs start getting lost and they didn't take the time to go learn these things.
I will say this. If you are ashamed of the identity or embarrassed of the identity that you have right now when it comes to your profession, you're in the wrong profession. And I say that because, everybody asks each other, like, what do you do for work? What do you do for work? When I was at Neaters, I was embarrassed to say that. I'm in the restaurant industry. It's not very high class, right? It's not very status-like. But even more so, it was something I knew I did not want to do for the rest of my life. If you are in that same boat, don't assume that identity. Find your new identity and go and chase it. Because then you'll say it with pride. If someone asks me what I do now, I proudly say I'm in real estate. And
not that real estate's got any kind of good status with it.
No.
Like,
I'm aware of the bad status it's got with it for sure.
And that's what I want people, like, it isn't a status thing. It is what do you genuinely feel good about doing?
Yep.
Like, there's people that coach Little League. There's people that are teachers or principals, like, and they wear that with a badge of honor.
And they should.
And they should. Yeah. And it's got nothing to do with the hierarchy of jobs or the status that comes with it, but genuinely just like, I am proud to be doing this because it's something I enjoy or something I'm good at or something I'm proud of. Like, if it's in those categories. And that kind of leads into this next premise, essentially, is ultimately, like, at the end of the day, what do people want?
Freedom.
We've talked about this. Like, that was like our men's group. Everybody perceived wealth, like wealth was freedom. And it's time freedom majority of the time. But I also think people want freedom from like their financial worries. And we always have this like thought that once I get here, then I'll be free. Like, then, these problems will be solved and everything's going to be all jolly. I don't know if you ever get to maybe you get to the jolly part, but I think there's problems at every level. I think there's going to be struggle and adversity throughout your life, no matter what, unfortunately. I think what ultimately people are searching for is a certain definition of retirement.
Center line.
Hey, this might be, we're going to tie back into this. What would you say retirement is right now? Like, definition of retirement.
Like, the definition everybody's going to think of is that you don't work.
Yep.
Right. That you just don't have to work.
When does that happen?
Usually happens at 65. When people retire from their job.
So, like, the average definition of retirement, what you think about with retirement is like senior citizen, you're 65, maybe you're 70, you're collecting a check, you're on Social Security, plus you got your retirement. You're not really able to do. I mean, this is what when people talked about retirement, I'm like, that sounds awful.
Yep.
That's not the retirement that people want. That is just kind of like what the majority have accepted for retirement. Retirement is ultimately when you get to a point where you're not sacrificing today for a potential future. Mm-hmm. Like when you can when today in and of itself is everything that you need, that's ultimately retirement, right? It's like when you have to stop trading time doing things you don't enjoy and you can just fully enjoy the day.
It's choice, right?
It's freedom of choice, freedom of activities. And so it's like, it's not just this financial number that you need to get to. It can be, but ultimately it's like having a day that you're not sacrificing for the future. Because like when you're working for retirement, you essentially are going into work today for your future, right?
Yep.
And when you're retired, you have nothing to go into. You just are. Like the day, all you're worried about that day is like, how's the day going to go?
And can that ever be accomplished at a single point? That's the question.
I think there's really only 3 ways to do this.
Okay.
Like if you know another way to achieve this, let me know because I would love to hear it. But right now, the first way, the normal way, is you save money and your passive income covers your burn rate, which is your living costs. So when you get to a point where your passive income covers your necessities and your living costs, and you accumulate, like you travel in there, stuff, the life that you want to live. When your passive income covers the life that you want to live, you then no longer have to go without you lifting a finger. Passive incomes means like you're not going anywhere to make the money. The money's just getting made for you. Mm-hmm. When you have that level, then you really have retirement, essentially. Like you can then dictate what you do for that day. And you know that your basic needs and wants are going to be covered with the money that's coming in.
Regardless of if you go to work or not or whatever.
Regardless if you go to work or not. The only way to achieve that is to have money that's working for you. Mm-hmm. It's the only way. You got to own assets. That could be equities in a company. That could be stocks. That could be real estate. Could be laundromat businesses. Mm-hmm. Those are all assets that could spit off cash flow that would give you passive income that don't require a lot of your time to then cover your necessities and needs. The other way is you decide to be a monk and you need nothing and your burn rate is 0.
You go live on a hill.
Yeah. I mean, if that's what brings you happiness,
it's doable.
It's doable. That's a way
that
you can achieve. Like a monk is not clocking in anywhere.
Yep.
They're just focused on meditating and enjoying the day as it comes. Half the time they don't even eat. So like they're really like, you could drive your burn rate down to 0 and be a monk. That's one way. The other way, and this is maybe like your center line principle, but the other way that I think you achieve this is you find work that is what you would choose to be doing once you are retired.
Okay. I love this concept.
So the other route is you find something that you enjoy so much or you love that it isn't work. It doesn't feel like work. Mm-hmm. And the way you figure this out is like, okay, let's say you did have your passive income, taking care of your burn rate. What would your day look like? Mm-hmm. If you're like, well, I would, for you, it's like, it could be like, well, if I got to this retirement thing, like my finances were in order, I had the passive income coming in, I'd want to go coach this basketball team. Cool. That might be something you could just do now and feel like you're in this retirement thing. It could be like, I would want to be an artist. Well, it's like, if you can go make a little bit of money doing art right now and it covers your basic needs and wants, your burn rate, well, then you're kind of retired because you're not really working. You're doing something that you would want to be doing in retirement anyway.
So my question for you is, do you consider yourself semi-retired?
That is a really tough question because my answer initially would be yes and no. I really enjoy the life that we're living right now. Mm-hmm. We still work a lot. And there's still some things that I don't love working on, but I still do.
Right.
So I don't know if I'd say, I guess semi. You would say semi. Okay.
Okay. Because if I was to calculate or try to define, I say center line a lot. And those that'll get to know me, you'll hear this term a lot. Center line to me is my version of semi-retirement. The only difference in my view, and I don't want this to sound arrogant, this is more of just, to your point, I feel like I have found something in life that I know I could do this for the rest of my life and be really happy.
Yeah.
I would say the only difference between actual retirement and my current life right now is that if I stopped selling, I wouldn't be able to live.
Correct.
Right. The catch though is that we're making progress towards that. And I feel like I'm doing the correct things to eventually get to the point where I don't have to. But even at the point when I don't have to, I'm probably still going to be doing a lot of what I do every day.
Yeah.
I'm going to come into the office. I'm going to help some people buy and sell real estate. Maybe not as much, but that's why that's what I consider the center line life, is as close to retirement as humanly possible. The only difference is I have to keep doing this in order to survive.
Yes.
The goal is to not have to.
And yes. And I want to clarify on my answer as well.
Sure. Yeah.
Because that's a great definition. And with the definition of like retirement, I would say, we're definitely maybe not even semi-retired, because our passive income does not cover our burn rate.
Right.
So there's like, I need to continue to work. Could it? Yes. If I lowered my burn rate, which is a choice, like if I decided to lower our living expenses, yeah, we could have most of our passive income cover our needs and wants. Mm-hmm. But I am trying to get to a certain level of lifestyle that still is going to require me to work. But I feel like we've got a really good balance right now. But for example, like I impulsively bought World Cup tickets this week. Mm-hmm. So we're going to go to Boston on like a few days notice and go to a World Cup game. And that's really expensive, but it's like, that's kind of the life that I want.
Right.
And our passive income is not there to cover those kind of things. And so it's like, we're still working, but to your definition of, I'm going to probably be doing this for the rest of my life as well. So that's also why I would say, okay, we're like semi, mm-hmm. because even if my passive income was covering my burn rate and some, I would still want to be working.
Yep.
Like, and working on these things that we're doing. Like, I would still love to film the podcast. This kind of work. I still want to be buying houses, mm-hmm. doing real estate projects. Those are things that I love. Like, those are things that just light me up. I still want to be investing. So I would say these are things that I'm going to probably be doing in retirement. And I've kind of cut out a lot of things that I don't want to be doing.
Right.
And that's where I would kind of say, like, maybe I am somewhat, because I don't work with clients that I don't want to work with anymore. Like, even if I really only help friends and family or like close referrals, and I kind of dictate my schedule pretty well. So I've eliminated the things that I don't want to be doing. And I think I could be doing what we're doing, like you said, for the rest of our lives. And
there's two key principles to learn here, because we're not saying this to say like, oh, we've made it. Like, we're looking at us. Like, in no way, shape, or form have I made it. Not even close. But there is a level of, what's the word I want to use? There's a level of satisfaction that I feel knowing that I feel like I found my calling.
Yeah.
And that I am okay doing this the rest of my life. And having been in a position before this where I knew I didn't. And I feel like a lot of people are in that. And so you have two routes to take, and that is die until you're 75 and you're buried and stick with that, or make the change and find something, and especially if you know what it is. If you, like, I knew what I wanted in life. I didn't know it was real estate, but I knew the lifestyle I wanted to have. And that was to be a business owner to where I could choose. Like, if I wanted to come into the office today, I had that choice. Mm-hmm. That puts a lot of responsibility on your shoulders, because there's times where you have to make that choice and you're in the office more than probably what you would be in a 9-to-5. But I still have that choice. No one is telling me, I don't run the risk of being fired if I don't show up to work on Monday. I can stay home.
Yep.
I can do some work at home, whatever that might be. That was the lifestyle I wanted. I found real estate. It confirmed that. Now I feel center line. Anytime I feel off center line, you'll know. And when I'm off center line, it is when I know my schedule is being dictated for me over a consistent period of time, and I get pissed off.
Yeah.
Like, I do not like it. If I know that I have to be here from this day to this day and there's no wiggle room, I get very upset. It's a problem. But like, my point is that if you feel like you have not found your calling, if you feel like that you don't have that sense of freedom, the point we're trying to make in this episode is that the world's at your fingertips. You can learn whatever the freak you want to do.
Yeah.
It is on your phone. You could ask AI to help you become this person, and it'll give you a day-by-day schedule.
Yeah. Read certain books, watch certain videos. Like, you really can. And if you're not in a position that you want to be in, just start learning. Mm-hmm. Learn about real estate. No, I'm not saying real estate's what you should or shouldn't do. Explore it. Learn about stocks. Learn about window washing. Learn about car detailing. Like, there's so many ways to make money. You just have to decide what it is that you want to do to make the money.
Yep. And
I want people to know that if you feel stuck, there is a way out. There's nothing special about the people that got out. They weren't gifted. They're not special humans. They were just willing to learn a new skill.
Yep.
And you can go learn a new skill as well and make more money and live a better life. If whatever better life means to you, because that's going to be different for everybody. If you're happy with where you're at, I'm freaking stoked for you. Because ultimately, that's all we want. We just want to be happy.
Yep.
Right? So it's like, I just encourage you to figure out what it is that makes you happy and try to build a life that gives you more days that are filled with happiness versus not filled with happiness. And I think it's because it's like, dude, the journey, I don't know. When you're chasing money or you're chasing success, you're always like, oh, when I get to this certain dollar amount in my bank account, I'm going to feel happy. Or when I get to this certain promotion, I'm going to feel happy. And we put off happiness. And I don't know if there is ever this euphoric happiness. I think the happiness is just in your day to day.
Yep.
And like, I mean, we were at your house this weekend for a barbecue, sitting out there, the kids were playing, and it was like, you made a comment. You're like, this is what it's all about. And it's like, dude, it doesn't take much.
No.
The backyard with grass. They had a slide.
Yep. Some
water toys, and they were living, you know? And it's like, those are the days that you realize, like, what is it that we're all shooting for? Yes, go out there and achieve and shoot for your high goals. But at the end of the day, don't forget to make sure that you're building the life that you're going to enjoy long term, because the truck isn't going to make you happy. The bigger house is not going to make you happy. The promotion is not going to make you happy. I mean, for a little bit, maybe for a few days, for a few hours, your bank account isn't going to make you any happier. You know, it might relieve some stress. And I think that you can say all these things, but until people go and experience them, they're not going to know. So like, chase it, go after the money, but just like, don't sacrifice everything for it, because I think you'll get there and you'll realize that it's not about those things.
And sometimes the chase never stops.
No,
that's always a moving target, especially with the way the economy changes, the life happens, unexpected things happen. Like, you're never going to stop chasing it. And it's not a bad thing to chase it. The catch is just enjoying the chase.
Yes.
Like, we all want, I'm not by any stretch, like, even though I try to stay in this center line thing that I pitch, I'm not by any stretch satisfied with where I am at financially.
Yeah.
Not even close. I'd love to make more money.
Yeah.
But I am pretty good at enjoying the ride there and being okay with the route I've taken versus the unsatisfied, like, oh, I'm not a millionaire yet, so I need to come in and work, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and never see my kids and yada, yada, yada. That would be miserable for me. It would make me hate every aspect of what I do. Go ahead.
No, that's like the dichotomy of it. It's dissatisfaction is unhappiness,
Yeah.
but dissatisfaction is what creates success.
Yeah, I would say that.
Because if you were satisfied, you wouldn't continue pushing.
Sure.
So there's this weird level of you need to have some dissatisfaction to continue to push, but also enjoy, because the journey is all we have.
Mm-hmm.
If you talk to any successful person, they're going to talk about the journey. They're never going to talk about the destination.
Yep.
Like they're going to say, like, back in the day, I was working this hard. I did this. I did that. Man, those are the days.
Yep.
It's never like, well, yeah, now I have $100 million and I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're a lot of times they're depressed because they don't know what else to do. Like the journey's over.
Right.
And so in knowing that this is the most exciting part of the life, build it in a way that you enjoy the journey. And that's why, like, I stress so much for people to figure out what makes you happy. Don't fall in the things trap. I think a lot of us fall into, you end up buying things that then trap you.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you're working for things to sustain things, car payments, bigger house, clothes, all this stuff, the stuff that doesn't matter, but you buy it as a reward. And then you have to work you have to continue to work just to sustain the stuff.
And that becomes the chase sometimes.
Yeah. And then it's
the
like,
chase isn't always just like a figure that you need to meet. The chase is, I got to keep up with the lifestyle I've created.
yep.
And that never stops either.
Yep.
Because then you've developed habits of, okay, I'm getting close to paying this car off. Well, I'm used to the $700 a month payment, so I'm just going to go buy another one.
Yep.
And that chase never stops. And that's what we're trying to implement here too, is breaking out of that habit and being financially responsible, because then it changes everything.
Yeah. You get that optionality that you want.
Yeah.
That only happens when you can control when you make the decisions that don't trap you. And I think that's where most people get trapped. They get trapped with a big car payment, house payment, nice clothes and stuff. And then it's like, okay, well, you have to go clock in because you've got to continue to pay for these things. Where it's like, if you were putting money aside and you weren't getting the new car every couple of years, you weren't constantly trying to upgrade to a bigger house, then you would find some kind of peace knowing that you have money on the side, that like, if you lost your job, it's not the end of the world. Or if you want to take a risk and go start your own business or something, your back's not completely against the wall because you have some optionality because you were smart with your finances. It gets really hard when you're in that trap. It gets the further along that you are in there, the harder it is to break out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just want people to don't get trapped, because that's where life feels not as fun, and you feel like you just don't have as many options and your back's against the wall. And then when we talk about these things, like, you should go learn this stuff or develop a new skill set, you're like, I can barely even, like, I'm just trying to keep afloat here.
And that's where, you made the comment, like, the truck will never make you happy, right?
Yeah.
The truck will never make you happy because the new truck's coming out the next year.
100%.
But
Yeah.
the truck can make you happy if you're obviously not putting yourself in a tough position. A truck can allow me to buy something that it can tow. Like, maybe I wanted to get a boat at some point and create memories with the kids that way. Maybe I want a camper and go camping. You won't catch me camping, but I'm using that as an example for some listeners. The truck can come in handy when I want to move stuff out of my house. Like, there's going to be aspects of what a truck can provide that are going to bring ease to my life and make me happy and provide opportunities for memories. Correct?
Yeah.
But the truck will never make you happy in of itself, because I guarantee after 2 years, the new truck's going to come out and you're going to want that one more than the one that you've got.
100%.
And that's why it'll never make you happy.
It's empty.
Yeah.
It becomes empty.
It's a truck.
That's why I think it's so important to understand, like, what is it that you want truly? Because like I talk, I want a new truck. That'd be cool. Raptor R. Like, I love a Raptor R, but like, do I really want it? Not really. I've talked about, buying a boat. It's like, but do we really want a boat? Like, do I want to maintain a boat? How often are we going to use the boat? Do I want to store the boat? I don't know. Like there's things that sound good about it, but then I also try to look at like, what are the downsides to it? I even, we've talked about, we want a cabin. Like, do we really want a cabin? Do I want to maintain a cabin? Or do I just want to rent
help you maintain it. You should get a cabin.
Or do I just rent a cabin? I don't, and it's weird because it is that, I think the hard part for me is like, it is the optionality.
Yep.
Like if I make the investment into a cabin, I feel like, okay, that's where we need to go. Maybe we won't travel as much. We'll want to go to the cabin. I kind of like impulse trips and traveling and stuff.
Right.
So it's really coming down to like, not buying things because other people have things, but buying things because they truly bring joy and happiness to you. Mm-hmm. If you like old cars, then maybe like that would bring you a lot of joy and happiness to tinker around on an old car and drive it around on the weekends. And if your thing is going out to a drive-in, like whatever it is that you enjoy, but know who you are, know your authentic self.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're really good at that. You're like, you're not going to catch me camping. I'm not going to be in a trailer. Like you just don't like those things. You're really good at knowing what you enjoy doing and spending your time on the activities that you enjoy doing.
Well, I got asked, it was actually funny. I got asked yesterday, was at a family gathering, and one of my brother-in-laws asked me, he's like, have you ever considered going into commercial real estate? Like it's just one other thing that you can do to try to amplify your business, grow it quicker, make more money, yada, yada, yada. And I was like, that's a great question. And the answer is no. I have no desire to go into commercial real estate. Will I help with some if the opportunity presents itself? Sure. But as far as like making that an additional thing that I provide, no, I'm not, because I know what's going to be required to be good at it. Mm-hmm. And I'm not willing to do that kind of work. And so like, be honest with yourself. I'm not at the chase anymore. Like it's such a weird place to be in, because I'm not satisfied. We've said it already. I'm not satisfied with where I am, but I'm also satisfied with where I'm at. It's weird.
It's funny because I almost like, I look at you as your knowledge and understanding is there, but you're at such an early stage to have that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like you are somewhat, you know, a lot of these lessons, because you're right. It's like, you shouldn't just add something to your plate that you don't want to invest a lot of time in to figure out. And you just said it yourself too. You're like, I know what it would take to be successful in that, and I'm just not willing to do it.
Yeah,
it's really hard for people to say that. I mean, dude, when I was first coming out, I would never said that. I'd be like, yeah, add that to the plate. Like, I'm a commercial agent. Like, but I think there is this joy when you truly understand what you want. And I think that's where it came out. Like, I didn't know what I want when I started out. I would just say yes to everything. And I think there's a time and a place that you need to do that. You need to just say yes to everything.
At some point, for sure.
But then you get to a point where you're like, hey, no, this is the thing that I actually want to be good at. I mean, you look at a sports player. I always reference sports because it's an easy thing to reference and understand. If people are like, Steph, you should like work on dunking. He's like, no. Like, it's just not my game. Like, I'm just going to shoot threes.
Yep.
And just be a really good 3-point shooter. Mm-hmm. I think you can choose anything in life. And if you're the best at it, you will make money. If you want to trade Pokemon cards, well, if you're like the best Pokemon trader, you're going to probably make a lot of money. Mm-hmm. Anything. If you're willing to put in the time to become really good at that one activity, you could be successful. When we tie this back to real estate, it's like if you just choose one activity, if you want to sit open houses, you're going to be successful. If you want to cold call expired listings, you are going to be successful. That's all you did. And as I say this, like I'm talking to myself, because I tend to take on a lot where it's like, yeah, I know I'm not going to be really good at that because I'm not willing to put in the time to actually do it. And so what I am good at though is finding somebody that is willing to put in the time and having them work on it.
You're good at that.
So, but it does, like, if you look, I think people can look at everything that I do, and I'm like a bad example of this because we do have a lot of different businesses, but I also have a lot of people in all of our businesses. Yeah. So it's like, it isn't requiring me to be the best at doing these things. I have people that is their full-time job that they are trying to be the best at. Mm-hmm. And so you've got to recognize within yourself, what are you good at? And then what are you uniquely good at that you also enjoy doing? that you're willing to put the time and effort in to become one of the best in that category. I think if you can hit those things, hey, I'm uniquely good at this. I actually enjoy doing this, and I'm willing and motivated to continue to learn about this thing to be one of the best. You will make money. You'll make really good money. Problem is, like, most of the time people don't find that because then they don't spend the time to try to find it.
Yeah.
I think. So
a couple lessons to tie this all into a couple key points of lessons that anybody who's made it this far, here's a couple things to just kind of internalize with what we've talked about. Number one is you have access to anything and you can become whatever the crap you want to become. There is no excuse for it.
Education is free and plentiful.
Yep. Don't be afraid to chase it. But I'll add to that, because we kind of tied on this towards the end, is don't underestimate the work it's going to take to be successful at whatever you choose to do. It's not going to be handed to you on a silver platter. You're not just naturally going to be amazing at it. You have to work. And so if you're wanting something in replace of what you're doing, it's going to require additional time from what you're already doing. Like you use the example of you got your 9 to 5. Cool. After 5 o'clock, if you want to start being good at something else, that's when your next shift starts.
Yep.
There's no other way around it. And you can either choose to do that or sit and play victim and be like, it's just not in my cards. Yep. And whatever you choose, that's on you.
But no, it's your choice.
But it is a choice. It didn't just happen to you. The other thing, the third lesson, is enjoy the ride. And if you are not enjoying the ride, you are in the wrong space. Because it is achievable, and it's a good place to be. We're not trying to brag and say that we've made it in life, because again, I'm far from it. But I can damn well sure say I enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
And it is a awesome place to be mentally. It makes life fun.
There's always going to be hard days in anything that you do.
100%.
What I actually love though is Alex Hormozy says this, like, if you are doing it around people that you enjoy being around, it makes the hard days a lot less hard.
Oh yeah.
So like real estate is, we have hard days all the time. Mm-hmm. I mean, running the team, we have hard days, running everything, but we are surrounded by people that I enjoy doing stuff with.
Yep.
So it's like when it is a hard day, we've got people at the office. Like it makes enduring the hard days more enjoyable when you're surrounded by people that you enjoy being around. Mm-hmm. And so if I put yourself in a good environment that you enjoy being around, because anything you do is going to be hard. If you start a new business, it's going to be hard. If you're an employee at a company, it's going to be hard. You can't escape the hard. So don't get that confused. It's all going to be hard, but make sure you're surrounded by people that you enjoy doing hard things with. And it's an activity that you are going to enjoy the journey along the way.
I love that.
So, all right.
Last thing.
Yeah.
The fourth lesson is financial responsibility is how you achieve the happiness in the journey. Like, yes, choosing the right career path is helpful, but like at the same time, like you've got to have finances behind it, unless you're going to be a monk, right? You've got to be financially responsible, and that is the true cornerstone of happiness with the life that you choose. I would not enjoy what I do. I can even say this confidently. Like 2 years ago when I was $40,000 in debt, real estate was a lot less enjoyable.
Oh, I'm sure.
It was not fun. I still loved it. I still had a good attitude. I still would have rather done real estate than other things I had done previously. But the happiness wasn't there because I was in debt and financially irresponsible. Mm. When that changed, that's when the true happiness came. Because now again, it's semi-retirement. The only thing between me and retirement is that I just have to keep doing what I'm doing to maintain my lifestyle. But we're on a trajectory to change that and make it so that I don't have to. And that's where the satisfaction comes in, and the goal setting and all of that stuff. But yeah, financial responsibility is the keystone to that happiness in whatever life you choose.
And I love that because it's like you were just buying the stuff when you went into debt, and that didn't make you happier.
Nope. made me less happy. Made me happy for the dopamine kick. I got to drive the cool truck around for a little bit. Like, it was great.
Yeah.
But then I was like, this is really expensive. Like $800 a month in gas. I don't enjoy this.
Yeah.
$40,000 in debt. Worried about my next deal so I can pay all my stuff. Like, it's not a fun place to be.
And now just choosing to step back, get those things in order. It wasn't nothing that you bought, but you just got this peace and satisfaction from the decision.
Mm-hmm.
And like, that's where I'm like, that is so cool. It's like, hey, we went out and bought the stuff and realized the stuff it was actually making us less happy.
Mm-hmm.
And really just having this money, being out of debt, not feeling like we owe anybody anything, getting our family into a better financial position, that has brought me happiness.
Words cannot describe to you how much happier I am with my yard, knowing that I am not in debt for it.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah.
When the yard and the fence was debt.
Yeah.
It's not fun. You don't enjoy it.
It's hard to enjoy a lot of things when
I really enjoy my yard.
that's awesome.
Really enjoy it. And it's because you don't have debt.
It's the little things, dude. It really is the little things. I can't emphasize that enough. So that's cool. I'm proud of you, dude. I'm proud of you for getting to that
I don't
stage.
want this episode to be like, hey, this is look at Jace.
No,
He's made
no.
it. Like, it's not it at all. But
And I like, you've said it, we've said it a couple times. Neither one of us have made it.
Yeah.
Like we're still we're sharing this stuff as it comes along with us. Mm-hmm. Like as we experience these things, we're sharing it. As we come across lessons, we try to share it. We're in the weeds. We're in the thick of it. You're not talking to I listen to some podcasts where it's like they've had big exits, they're multi-millionaires, and they're sharing their journey, which it's cool, but we're in the journey still.
yeah, I still need to share my net sheet. We haven't shared that in a while.
Yeah, we need to update your net worth tracker.
Update that. That'll happen next podcast episode.
Yeah, we'll knock that out. So don't ever think that we're proclaiming that we've made it by any means. We're still in the thick of it, but we're just trying to share information as it comes along and share our perspective on things. And so if you've got any topics or ideas that you want us to talk on, or just thoughts, let us know in the comments, and we'll catch you guys next week.
See you.
Peace.
Welcome to the chase where the champions dwell. To the grind, to the hustle, the pursuit of wealth. Every story, every journey, every climb from the shelf. Here's to the drive, to the fight, to pursue the